When EU regulators screened 223 major websites for fake review practices, the results were damning. The majority showed patterns that raised serious doubts about authenticity. Those were mainstream shopping sites, not obscure marketplaces, sites you and I use every week. And yet most of us still make purchasing decisions based on star ratings without thinking twice. Today I'm going to show you exactly how the review manipulation game works in Europe, who the players are and what the tricks look like, and how to protect yourself. Welcome back to WebshopSavvy. I'm Joanna and this is WebshopSavvy, where we talk about online shopping done confidently and right. Let's set the scene, because the EU has actually moved quite aggressively on this. Since May 2022, the EU's Omnibus Directive, officially the Better Enforcement and Modernization Directive, explicitly bans buying, selling or submitting fake reviews to promote products. It also requires any online marketplace that displays reviews to tell consumers how they verify those reviews are genuine. Not just that they do it, but how. If there is no verification process, they have to say that too. On top of that, the Digital Services Act, which came fully into force in 2024, puts additional obligations on large platforms around transparency and illegal content removal. National enforcers have real teeth here. In the Netherlands, the Consumer Authority ACM has fined web shops €100,000 for fake reviews. France's DGCCRF has issued fines up to €375,000. And just this past March 2026, the Italian Competition Authority fined Trustpilot itself €4.6 million for misleading customers about how its services work and failing to verify review authenticity. So the law is real, but enforcement is still patchy, manipulation is still rampant, and as a shopper you still need to know what to look for yourself. Let's talk about spotting fake reviews. The volume burst pattern. Legitimate business accumulate reviews organically, a few a week, maybe a few a day during busy periods. If you sort reviews by date and see 50 5-star reviews arrive over 3 days, that's a huge red flag. This is what investigators call a review storm, and it usually follows either a purchase from the fake review seller or a mass invitation campaign sent only to cherry-picked happy customers. Now there's a language problem. Fake reviews, especially purchased ones, tend to be oddly generic. They praise the product without specifics. Amazing product. Very happy. Tells you nothing. The sewing needle was sharp enough to go through 4 layers of denim without bending. Tells you something real. If a page full of reviews reads like it was written by the same person using slightly different word orders, trust your instincts. The reviewer profile check. Click through to reviewer profiles when the platform allows it. A genuine reviewer typically has reviewed several different businesses over months or years. A fake review account often has 1 or 2 reviews joined very recently with no photo and a generic username. Some platforms like Trustpilot show a reviewer's join date and review history. Use it. Review clustering on dates. Check if reviews cluster around the same time of the year. Some businesses run invite-only happy customer campaigns after the holiday rush. That's technically legal, if they're not bribing anyone, but it skews the picture. The angry returns period reviewers never get invited. Now this 5-star, 1-star gap. This one is underappreciated. Many manipulated profiles show a bimodal distribution. Loads of 5-star reviews and loads of 1-star reviews, with almost nothing in between. Genuine businesses get the full bell curve. The big middle is where real customers live. If it's missing, the 5s are probably inflated. Now here is the part I find most alarming, because it doesn't require anyone to write a fake review at all. Selective invitation. The Omnibus Directive say businesses can invite customers to leave reviews, but they must invite everyone equally, not just the happy ones. In practice, this is almost impossible to enforce. A webshop can simply send review invitations at this stage in the customer's journey that only satisfied buyers reach, say after a confirmed positive delivery, never after a return request. The reviews are real, the selection is rigged. I had that experience a few weeks ago when I flew with SAS and I received the review request before I even managed to collect my luggage. The funny part is that the flight was on time, but since the flight time in the itinerary is inflated by 20 minutes, then when you land to get a message from the pilot, look, we landed before time, and 5 minutes later you get the review invite. The Trustpilot freemium problem. This deserves a proper explanation. Trustpilot operates a freemium model. Any business can claim their profile for free, but paying subscribers get access to tools like enhanced invitation automation and, critically, the ability to flag and dispute reviews more easily. The criticism that has followed Trustpilot for years is exactly this. Legitimate negative reviews get challenged by businesses and the platform removes them. There is a well-documented pattern. When the business flags a review, Trustpilot sales team apparently treats it as a sales lead and calls the business. That's a structural conflict of interest the platform has never fully resolved. I also had a similar experience with Trustpilot many years ago. They removed my negative review of the business of which owner was tried in court for fraud, sued by at least 30 people. What Trustpilot officially says is that paying for subscription doesn't affect how reviews are moderated. The same rules apply to everyone. But the practical reality documented by users and business on both sides is that paid subscribers have more tools to dispute reviews and more contact with human moderators, which is exactly why Italian regulators came knocking. The flag to suppress tactic. Businesses can flag reviews as violating guidelines. The legitimate reasons include hate speech, irrelevant content, reviews about the wrong company. The abuse is to flag every negative review you receive and hope the platform's automated systems errs on the side of removal. Trustpilot's own guidelines explicitly say this is a misuse, but it keeps happening. Paid positive review ecosystems. There is an active market in Europe for fake positive reviews. Freelancer sites, forums, Telegram groups, you can find people offering Trustpilot, Google and Marketplace reviews for a few euros each. Trustpilot says it removed 4.5 million fake reviews in 2024 using AI, but that's 7.4% of everything submitted, which means a meaningful proportion still slips through. Incentivized reviews deserve their own section because they're everywhere in Europe and they sit in a legal gray zone that's getting darker. An incentivized review is one where the reviewer receiving something in exchange. A discount, a free product, a cashback offer, entry into price draw. Under EU law, these are not automatically illegal, but they must be disclosed. If the review says, I received this item for free in exchange for my honest opinion, that's compliant. If it just says, great product, with no disclosure, that's a problem and it's on the business, not just on the reviewer. What to watch for? Look for verified purchase labels and check if a platform explains what verification actually means. Under the Omnibus Directive, they must. If the platform just says, all our reviews are verified without explaining how, that's already a red flag and technically non-compliant. Also watch for what researchers call biased invitation timing. This is where a seller sends review requests immediately after delivery, before the product has had time to fail, before a subscription has had time to reveal its true cost. The product looks great at day 3. At day 30, maybe less so. One specific pattern worth knowing. Some web shops, especially in fashion and home goods, never send review invitation to customers who have made a return. If a webshop has thousands of reviews but almost none mentioning returns, sizing issues or defects, ask yourself where those customers went. So what do you actually do with all of this? Sort by the lowest rating, not average. The 1 and 2 star reviews are where the truth lives. Read them. If they're all complaining about the same thing, slow delivery, wrong sizing, no refund, take that seriously. If they're suspiciously incoherent and clearly from non-customers, that tells you something too. Check multiple platforms. Cross-reference Trustpilot with Google reviews and with any niche communities relevant to the product category. A company that scores 4.8 on Trustpilot and 2.1 on Google is telling you something important about which platform it has chosen to invest in. Look at how the company responds. A business that responds to negative reviews professionally, acknowledging problems, offering solutions, is usually more trustworthy than one with perfect ratings and 0 responses. The replies also reveal whether the company treats criticism as feedback or as something to suppress. Check recency. A company with 500 reviews and a 4.7 average sounds great, unless 400 of those reviews are from 3 years ago and the recent months are a string of complaints. Filter to the last 3 or 6 months only. For high-value purchases specifically, search the company name plus complaint or scam or same in your own language. Consumer forum posts and Reddit threads are much harder to manipulate than structured review platforms. Use review analysis tools. FakeSpot and ReviewMeta both analyze Amazon reviews for suspicious patterns. They're free and work well for EU Amazon stores. They look at the reviewer history, linguistic patterns, and timing clusters automatically. Reviews are not inherently dishonest. Most of them are genuine and they genuinely help. The problem is that the review ecosystem has been gamed so extensively that you can no longer afford to be passive about it. The EU legal framework is getting stronger, the fines are getting real, but enforcement will always lag behind manipulation, which means your best protection is knowing what to look for. Star ratings are a starting point, not a verdict. The distribution, the dates, the reviewer profiles, the missing middle, the absence of certain complaints, that's where the real information is. If you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, comment and share. This helps other viewers to find it and helps the channel grow. I will see you in the next episode. In the meantime, stay safe.